Let me explain, of course. Will be given 1 minute to prepare an affirmative speech for chipmunks or hamsters? Chipmunks. And then Alec will have 1 minute to prepare a negatory speech against chipmunks for hamsters. And then they'll have 3 minutes of cross-examination, and then 1 minute each for concluding speeches. It's going to be fun. I promise you. Okay.
We're joking.
Are you ready, William?
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. I'm just argumenting in my mind. That's good. There are really two kinds of woodland creatures out there that everybody loves. Oh wait, only one. Chipmunks! Chipmunks are so far superior to the lowly hamster, and I will tell you why. How many singing hamsters do you know? Let's see.
Hamtaro.
Hamtaro does not sing, my friend. Hamtaro does not sing.
I thought it does.
No, he doesn't. Wait, hamsters are so not as good as chipmunks because chipmunks have the wondrous ability to sing. We've all seen the cartoon of Alvin and the Chipmunks and how they made so much money just by singing. The movies don't exist. Those are terrible. I mean, what is more American than little singing chipmunks? They are so tiny, yet we hold them in such high esteem. They are so wonderful.
Okay, now Alec will have to prepare a counter for that wonderful speech.
I don't think Hamtaro does sing.
No heckling. Stage performance, please. It's not.
While I will admit that the occasional chipmunk can be a bit adorable, I believe that hamsters are so much better than chipmunks because how many of you guys have ever had a chipmunk for a pet? I don't think very many of you have ever had a chipmunk for a pet. And if you have, I'm pretty sure it'd attack your face. Because they're animals. They live in the wild. They are not domestic. Hamsters, on the other hand, sweet, cuddly, adorable hamsters, are things you can have as a pet. They're not the unattainable, unreachable, uncuddleable chipmunk. They're the close, soft, fuzzy hamster you all know and love so well. And although they may not sing, neither do the chipmunks. As anyone can see, that is clearly not singing. That we know what realm can be defined as singing. Squeaking, absolutely, but then hamsters can squeak just as well as your average chipmunk. Thank you.
Now 3 minutes of cross-examination. Go ahead.
My friend, do you enjoy cannibalism? And do you know why you don't enjoy cannibalism? Because it's unnatural. And what do hamsters do? They eat their babies. They eat their babies.
I would argue that although it is not a human trait, cannibalism is a perfectly natural thing.
You just said
Established part of the animal world, and although we do not partake in it because we are civilized humans, it is their culture. Do not be species-centric. Do not judge them by the standards of our species. They are hamsters and they have their own customs. Leave them alone.
Well, let's look at this from a cannibalism point. He doesn't like cannibalism. And he's saying we are more civilized because we are not cannibals. Doesn't that, through the use of logic, mean that chipmunks are therefore more civilized than the common hamster?
I'm not sure I follow your logic there. I have known the occasional vicious carnivorous chipmunk. I know
chipmunks eat
but
acorns.
I camp a lot and hardly. That's not all they eat. They eat fingers too.
My friend, I happen to be a chipmunk hamster scientist. Chipmunkologist. And they do not eat fingers. I dare you to find a chipmunk chipmunk that eats fingers. I held my finger at the chipmunks, and they just took the little acorn from my hand, and then sang me a love ballad.
Although, be that as that may, I would like to bring it back to where we began this, which is the singing that isn't singing, the cuteness that is unattainable, and a mere taunt. It's like, chipmunks are like if you're walking along and you see a really beautiful woman or a really handsome man, depending on what you're interested in, and you just know that even if in the perfect circumstances, you wouldn't be able to talk to them in a million years. That's the chipmunk. That's the chipmunk.
Are you saying I'm not good enough for my chipmunk friends?
No one is good enough for your chipmunk friends. Because chipmunks don't like people.
If they don't like people,
no matter how much they look adorable, no matter how sweet and cuddly they are, no matter how much they stuff their face, that's another issue.
If they don't like people,
but anyway,
thank you for interrupting me. If they don't like people, then why do Alvin and his chipmunk brethren hang around with that one guy so much?
Real.
How dare you?
Because they don't exist. I hate to break it to you. I hope this isn't a great disappointment to anyone in this room. But Alvin and the Chipmunks are not real people.
Please, let him finish.
What I'm getting at is, the hamsters are so much better because you can cuddle with a hamster. Have you ever tried cuddling with a chipmunk? Yes.
Alec has 1 minute for conclusion.
Okay. So, all speculation on cannibalism and finger eating aside, as that is merely speculation, I'm afraid my opponent is not actually a chipmunkologist, however awesome that would be. What I believe we can see from tonight is that the hamster is so much better than the chipmunk because you can cuddle with it. And my opponent, he never really addressed that. He never really addressed the fact that you could have a pet hamster, but with yes, there may be slight exceptions, but it would be very difficult to have a pet chipmunk. You cannot walk to the store and buy a chipmunk. So that's what my point is that also, I just like to get this out there, hamsters are cuter. You all know they are. They're sweeter, they're cuter, they win.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, the debate today comes down to a single issue. What is better, the majestic chipmunk or the lonely hamster? I, like all of you, value my freedom. I value the freedom of animals. I let my chipmunk friends run free because they are so great. My opponent stands up here not only insulting my scientific knowledge, but insulting the singing capabilities of totally non-fictional chipmunks. Hamsters. Hamsters eat their young. I would not want to eat a child. Out here, except for my opponent, would like to eat. And that is why chipmunks are so far superior than any hamster you can think of. So please, friends, when you're out in the forest and you see Chipmunk, salute him for the wonderful fellow that he is. And go home and glare at your hamsters. Thank you.